Hey Blossoms, it's Rebecca Weaver and I am from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. I have 4 kids, ages 4 to 10, and I have always loved to read. Ever since I was like 4 years old, and I was an early reader, and I first was introduced to Usborne books when about 8 years ago. It was right before my 7-year-old was born, so give or take. And I enjoyed their baby books. I felt like their baby books were very, very, very entertaining, enjoyable, beautifully illustrated. And so when I had the invitation to attend a party in February, I was excited. And I booked a party off of that. And soon after that, in the pre-party hostage messages, Treva asked me if I had thought about joining Usborne, and actually I had been. And she gave me that little extra shove that I needed, and so in February I joined Usborne Books, and it has been a long, hard journey. It really has. One of the books that I ordered at that time got Denver interested in reading, which is extremely exciting for us because he is autistic, he has a learning disability, and I was homeschooling him. So I started incorporating various of our books into his homeschooling routine. And since I started, he has really gotten interested into the computers and coding book, the Lift the Flat book, and he loves Bob is a Unicorn. So back to my story. My launch party was a flop. It was a complete and total, absolute flop. And I proceeded to have a lot of flops. But June came around and I was ready to hang it up. I just was tired of it. It was too much work for the little bit of money that I was getting out of it. And then I had a party in June that changed my whole perspective. My hostess was amazing. She did so much for the party itself, and she got her guests so enthused about it because she herself was enthused about it. And we played games, we put up lots of posts, lots of pre-party posts, engaging stories. I looked up videos, and I look for videos that are under 4 minutes. That is how I keep my pre-party the way I do. I also use short videos during my party as well, and I do not use all of the typical party videos that some of you use. Anyway, Courtney's party gave me 7 bookings, and that's where I started to really launch into things. Now, soon after that, Lauren had posted her picture of her big check, and I thought to myself, you know, if Lauren can do this, if Lauren can get to that part, so can I. And that's when I changed some of my habits. I started contacting people every day, and around that same time, somebody told me about the Go for a No. And I started doing that as well. And I incorporated that Go for a No over a week's period of time instead of, like 2 days or something like that. I worked for 100 no's in a week or 2 weeks. And I think at first I started with 2 weeks, and I'm up to more like a week now. But I learned that no is not a bad thing. No is not a bad thing. No gives you the opportunity to go back and ask them later. Hey, I know I contacted you a few weeks ago or a month ago or 2 months ago or whatever it was, and you said that it wasn't a good time for you. Would this be a good time? And if they say no, okay. Unless they tell me not to ever contact them again about it, I am going to keep contacting them until I get a definite flat no. Don't ever, ever ask me for this again. Now, if somebody says I do not do parties, I am not interested, then I generally mark them off and don't say too much. And then, the other thing that I learned about getting bookings was using the Hostess bingo board and doing it behind the scenes and letting the party guests have their own bingo board. And I do that in the same party. And that has gotten me a lot of bookings as well. Now, for my rewards for them, my hostess incentives or whatever, the party prize winner gets $5 in free books, or a $5 free book, however. And then they have the option of the 20 for $5, which I pay the $5, if they decide to host a party. And that has worked very well for me. And then if they get 3 bookings, then I give them the 65% off as well. Now, of course, with the new system, that is 65% off of $50 worth of books, which works great. Absolutely awesome. And the other thing that I noticed is that books specifically for situations often bring in more bookings too. Like I have a friend whose daughter has had heart problems since she was very little, and she is very into Dr. Kitts and fixing the boo-boos. Of course, All Better came to mind as soon as I saw that. Also Going to the Doctor and What Makes Me Ill. I presented those books to her, and she had a party. She got those 3 books and about $70 worth of other free books as well as that. Also, I have a booking right now because of the book Here in a Garden. I offered that to her in addition to her other free rewards, because her daughter and she lost her grandfather, and her daughter was very close to him. And I feel like Here in the Garden is a tremendous book. So that's another way to get a lot of bookings and to be able to get down on people's level. They might look at the catalog and they're like, oh my, what do I do? But people love free books. Even people that aren't real into books but have kids or grandkids, they love free books because it's an awesome gift. It's an awesome way to make somebody else's day. And that's the way I look at it. And grandmothers are another thing. They love buying books for their grandkids. So that's my little story. And just to give you an idea of where I am from June, I have 15 bookings right now for the next 2 weeks, and I have 8 more in the following 2 weeks. So September is going to be busy at our house. So anyway, you guys have a great day. And thank you, Lauren, for picking me for Consultant of the Month. It was a great honor and pleasure to be able to do this. And I wish every one of you a very successful venture in your business. And just remember, if I can do this, being an introvert like I am, where I cringe every time that I hit the send button on a message, I'm pretty sure you can do it too. Thank you, and you guys have a great day.